Mate, thank you so much for joining us on Your Late Mate with Nimrod Nkosi. Today, sihleli no put Musa. But Musa is a former Idols winner. But we want to say, Guti, besides the Idols, the talent developed that look on the platform, I'm Kupula. No. But Musa, thank you so much for joining us. Are you well, dude?
I'm very well, eh?
It's such a pleasure to host you, man.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
You know why I say this? And this is I'm not pulling any punches to you.
Yeah.
But the organization, Inche. I'm from Pimville. Where are you from?
I'm from Witbank. I'm from Mpumalanga. I'm from a very small town.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be one.
In
Malahleni.
Yeah.
Okay. Always had the love for music?
Always. I grew up as a musician all my life. I was born dyslexic. I don't know if a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
Dyslexia is a disease that disables you from reading and writing. So all my life I had to put music as a priority to be able to read and write and do all these things.
Didn't the kids tease you? Sorry.
I grew up like that. You get used to the idea though, but because I've got such a strong personality, I believe I managed to work around it and cover it up. So at some point, no one could really tell or see what was going on with me because I got home and worked extra hard listening to music, being able to speak and write. Yeah.
Wow, because Danny Glover suffered from dyslexia, but he conquered it. He's one of the greatest actors. Someone like Jackson as well, you know. So it's something that Umdana can overcome. But how important did your parents support you?
To be quite honest, coming from a black family, at some point they associated with laziness.
Oh, really?
Yes, because when you come from a black family, no one believes that anyone can be born being unable to read and write. Like to them, it's like a myth, like unamanga. You know, and when I went to my schools, like every time I went to school and I came back home with a report of saying, Musa has not done 1-2, he's not doing 1-2. Every time my mother looked at it, it was like, he's just being lazy. So what she thought she had to do was put in an extra effort to make this thing work instead of actually making it work.
Oh man, okay. So now, Platform Your Idols has done very well for you.
Yes.
What was the feeling, you know, knowing what so many people have entered this competition, right? Thousands. Aspirational young people, they got a dream, and you, a person from Witbank in a small town who has to conquer so much, finally the voters said, we are going, Namus.
Hey man, it's a humbling feeling. Like you can't get over the feeling. Like it's been about 2-3 years for me now, and every time I still walk around the streets, I still admire the fact of knowing that it was never about me. It was never, like, from the beginning of the whole competition, it was never about me. It was not even about how I look at it. It was more about me understanding that I'm just a vessel being used to deliver a message. So if people recognize it the way that they do, that means whatever I'm doing is part of God's path and His will. And it makes sense to everyone else now that I understand it better.
Do you take yourself as an idol as far as the brand is concerned? I think around the world, the brand has shown you diversity in terms of personality. I mean, states you had the gay community also getting involved, you know, pushing their artists. I forgot this guy's name. I'm not here for your entertainment, you know. And then you had Jennifer Hudson,
yes,
who was not an idol, but you know, it opened up. When I looked at you, and I'm not surprised that your work is called Mr. Serious, because I got the sense of maturity about you, not your quintessential idol, happy chappy, bone structure. I got a real person.
I think with me, that's the one thing that keeps me going, is I was taught how to be human enough before everything else in life. So when I look at, that's why I continuously say this, that everything that I do that is part of the music business has got nothing to do with me. It is all entitled under God's work. He decides what happens when and how. I just need to be there. Like, my job as a part of my music is for me to show up, and that's all I need to do.
Is it all what it's dreamed to be, this being an idol? Is it all what it is that we see? Oh, now, oh, I don't want this. Take this away from me.
No.
Where's the limo? Where am I going? Which hotel am I staying in? Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
It's not even like that, you know. It's a fairy tale that children have in their minds. That's how our life is. That's not what our life is about. After being an idol, you go back, you become human. You become an artist now, you must work harder even before idols. Like I think like when you're not an idol, you work, but when you get into the music business, everyone looks at you as an artist. You don't have to worry about the stigma of being an idol.
Yeah.
When you are part of idols and you win the competition, when you leave, you have that stigma that lies behind you of saying this guy won idols. He must produce, he must do this.
Yes.
And then there's this thing that never goes away of saying that idols don't make it, they don't come back, they all fall apart. Then you must live above that thing now of having to prove a point to yourself before you prove it to other people that actually I am an idol, but I'm an idol that's about to change what is going on right now.
Can you quantify the stardom that it brings? Did you feel that you were a star?
When I was still a part of the show, yes, because it was new to me. The music business itself was not new, but being treated differently, where you wake up and you don't have to worry about how you're going to look like for the day, where your hair is taken care of in time.
Oh my God.
You know, you are collected in time, you're delivered on time. Everything as a part of your life is always catered for.
Wow.
So you never have the stress of other people. You just have to rehearse and sing.
Yes.
Make sure you rehearse and sing when you're part of the show. That's your life.
The prize money? You happy about it? Oh, okay. Okay.
Well.
No, but look, it's like in South Africa, right? I mean, back in the day, it was so aspirational. Young girls thought of nothing better in Pilo, and they've come a long way, women, really, I must say. Because, you know, from Barbie to Miss South Africa, my doors are going to open. And that's what we get fed on idols, like your life changes.
It does, and it's an overnight thing. It's a very true statement when they say your success, your fame is an overnight fame. Like you sleep and when you wake up, things have changed. Literally, that's how it is.
Prizes?
The prizes are quite great, man. I've got nothing to complain about. I mean, you know,
you got your money?
You get a car.
You keep that car?
Yes, you keep the car.
Okay, and it's paid out.
It's paid out. You just take the car and you drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nyuguwaizi?
You get beautiful man, yeah?
Okay.
You get beautiful man.
All right.
Hey.
You happy? You happy?
Quite happy.
Now, if you happy, listen.
Quite
if
happy,
you're happy, because
happy,
Tina, we'll always demand. Angithi abantu babheka abantu in the industry. We'll demand a certain. Show us then that you are now in the higher echelons of this by this lifestyle. We see it on Facebook with hip hop artists. We see it with people, general people who have achieved. They have the sense of letting us know and the driver in. You know, the public demands that.
Well, I guess at some point it differs from backgrounds and how we grew up. I personally did not grow up in a financial struggling type of home. To put it right, you know, I grew up in a decent home. My dad had his own businesses. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. She was a teacher before and she resigned. So the conception of having to brag about certain things, I don't really have it. I feel like sometimes you are put in that position of wanting to tell people how far you've gone because of the things you say, and you want people to see that actually you've made it. I'm not about that life. Like I just want to enjoy my life, enjoy my music, and share more of the music and talk about the music. For me, it's more about giving back what is inside of me. That thing, that flame that burns inside of me, that is music and the artistry itself. That's what I want to share and talk about. I don't have time to talk about how many cars I have, what house I have, what I do, because that goes then a long way. Then I forget about what I'm actually here for, and then I focus
the main
on
thing.
So I'd rather stick to what I know.
But did idols help? You've released Mr. Serious?
Yes.
Is it an album?
It's an album.
You looking to obviously take advantage of that? When I get that CD, I get it because it's good music.
You get it because it's good music, trust me. You don't get it because of my face. You know, I gave myself a 2-year break in between everything else to make the actual music. I had to pull in different people, source in different times, and find myself as well within the music business to say, this is my sound, this is who Musa is, and let me deliver this as best as I can. So it took me about 2 years. I had to rope in Robbie Malinga, you know what I mean, as the co-producer. I worked with a couple of friends, Unsega from the Soil, to sit down and write a couple of songs, decided to take some time off events and gigs and spend some time alone and shadow myself so I could sit down and write down.
Cleanse yourself.
Yeah, you know, write down some good music as well. I worked with Ricky Rick on the album.
Wow.
I've got Cuba as a DJ, I've got Andy Boy, I've got Tasso on the album, so...
no, Ubopil.
Yeah.
No, Ubopil, he out is really talented in the industry, and the diversity of the album as well. I think then the title kind of misleading, because it's not exactly Mr. Serious, is it?
How Mr. Serious came about was because when I was on Idols, a lot of people had this perception of saying, yo, this guy's so serious. Because I was always put in a suit and tie, you know. So when I came out, I was like, let me be contrary to what they know and say I'm Mr. Serious. And then when you start going down my journey, you'll be like, well, not really. You know, it's just a catchy phrase because people already know me like that. Let's might as well sell it so that people are able to easily adjust to saying, oh, Moose, Mr. Serious. And it came on because my initials are MRS generally.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. In terms of diversity, you look around the world, America, for example, you know, album drops. The white people would enjoy music, Jennifer Hudson, black people. Lana, it's kind of not polarized, but would you say, if we were to do it, like, now we can see 10,000 gamblers bought this. Purely on the show.
I think with us, probably in the States, I would say it's easier for them because of language barriers. Like they don't have language barriers like we do. Everyone speaks the same language. Everyone speaks English when you're in America. And then when you come to our country, we have, because we're such a beautiful, diverse country with so many languages, it's not easy for a white person to listen to a person saying in Vernac, you know what I mean? But in time, if they love it, I say they do adjust to it. If they love it that much, they do say, hey man, actually, I don't know what this guy's saying, but it sounds great. You know, and it takes them, I think it's taking them some time. It's not an easygoing thing. It's getting there though. I feel like we slowly graduating to the point where people are allowed to buy, where white people feel the need of saying, okay, I'll buy this. Because
you listen with your soul, isn't it? I don't understand what the Mansa from Mali, Salif Keita is saying. But I'm digging.
True.
You saw Ndo. I don't care what's in the Papa Wemba. I don't care what's in.
Like people ask me all the time, like, what? Like I'm like, Christian, like, who's one of your favorite artists? I'm like, my favorite artist is Richard Bonner, a guy from Cameroon. I never have an idea of what he's saying, but he's one of my greatest artists that ever lived. Because of how he creates his music. Like, I find my own interpretation in his music. I decide what I think he's saying. I make it my own feeling. Like, if he sings it, and I'm like, this is a love song. I don't know what he's saying, and I don't care, but this must be a love song.
We did not know what Julio Iglesias was singing about. But, man, I love this man. You know what I mean? Because we listen with our soul. Mr. Serious is out. Is it on iTunes as well?
It's on iTunes. It's available on iTunes, on Google Play. It's available at music stores around the globe.
Can I get some from you personally? Are you on that direction?
Well, I haven't released that.
You must start, dude. Your dad is a businessman.
Hey, man, I think my biggest problem is I affiliate myself with so many things at the same time. I do music, I run my own businesses as well at the side, you know, I'm into corporate business quite mostly. So putting the two together sometimes is difficult for me. I make time for studio and then I allow record companies and all of that to take control of everything else from there onwards. But should there be a form of lack, I will be on the streets.
All right. All right. Where can your fans reach out to you? Which platforms can they find you?
My fans can find me on my Instagram page at Musa the Voice.
You
find me, find me on Twitter.
And that's so ironic, right? Because you're from Idols.
Listen to you. At Musa the Voice on Instagram, at Musa the Voice on Twitter, and then it's Musa Sukwene on Facebook.
All right, man. Isikhathi asinaso, but Musa,
Bonga
thank
mina
you so
kakhulu,
much for
futhi.
coming to the
Thank
show.
you.
Wow, so this is how it feels when you worship an idol. We'd like to thank Musa for coming to the show, and we wish him well on his journey. Good business, and good music as well. Please show him love by buying his stuff and not jacking it.
Yeah.